Hey everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to your fourth stimulus check and news update. We have a lot of news to get into in today's video, but first, if you would like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so with the debt ceiling needed to be raised by October 18th, and Republicans refusing to help Democrats do just that, Joe Biden is putting the entire blame on Mitch McConnell. On Monday, President Biden said that he could not guarantee that the United States will be able to pay its bills past October 18th if Republican senators are unwilling to clear a path to keep the country solvent. And because of that, McConnell, in Biden's eyes, is the one to blame. Here is President Biden saying just that.
To raise the debt limit. And why the Republicans in Congress what they're doing today is so reckless and dangerous in my view. Raising the debt limit comes down to paying what we already owe, what has already been acquired, not anything new. It starts with the simple truth. The United States is a nation that pays its bills and always has. From its inception, we have never defaulted. What we pay for, so it keeps us a great nation. Social Security benefits for seniors, salaries for brave service members, and benefits for veterans, and other financial obligations for our people and for our nation. We're able to meet these obligations based on the revenue we receive from taxes and based on our ability to borrow when needed. And in that case, we're able to borrow because we always pay our debt. We always paid what we owe. We've never failed. That's America. That's who we are. That's what's called for. It's called full faith and credit of the United States. It's rock solid. It's the best in the world. But here's the deal. There's a cap on what we can borrow called the debt limit. And only Congress can raise or lower that debt limit. So let me be really clear. This is really important to know. Raising the debt limit is about paying off our old debts. It has nothing to do with any new spending being considered. It has nothing to do with my plan for infrastructure or building back better. Zero. Both of which I might add are paid for. So if we're going to make good on what's already been approved by previous Congresses and previous presidents and parties, we have to pay for it. Social Security benefits, the American people are promised, salaries for servicemen and women, benefits for veterans. We're going to have to raise the debt limit if we're going to meet those obligations. And raising the debt limit is usually a bipartisan undertaking, and it should be. That's what is not happening today. The reason we have to raise the debt limit is in part because of the reckless tax and spending policies under the previous Trump administration. In 4 years, they incurred nearly $8 trillion. In 4 years, $8 trillion in additional debt. In bills we have to now pay off. That's more than a quarter of the entire debt incurred now outstanding after more than 200 years. And Republicans in Congress raised the debt 3 times when Donald Trump was president, and each time with Democrat support. But now they won't raise it, even though they're responsible for more than $8 trillion in bills incurred in 4 years under the previous administration. That's what we'd be paying off. They won't raise it, even though defaulting on the debt would lead to a self-inflicted wound that takes our economy over a cliff and risks jobs and retirement savings, Social Security benefits, salaries for service members, benefits for veterans, and so much more. A failure to raise the debt limit will call into question Congress's willingness to meet our obligations that we've already incurred. Not new ones, we've already incurred.
In response to President Biden, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell tells him that Democrats will need to raise the debt limit on their own. In a letter to Joe Biden, he ended the letter by writing, "Mr. President, I respectfully submit that it is time for you to engage directly with congressional Democrats on this matter. Your lieutenants in Congress must understand that you do not want your unified Democratic government to sleepwalk towards an avoidable catastrophe when they had nearly 3 months' notice to do their job. On the Senate floor, McConnell defended himself and Republicans for not raising the debt limit ceiling by quoting Joe Biden back in 2006 when he was the one against raising the debt limit. Take a listen.
Begin today with a quotation. Quote, because this massive accumulation of debt was predicted, because it was foreseeable, because it was unnecessary, because it was the result of willful and reckless disregard for the warnings that were given and for the fundamentals of economic management, I'm voting against the debt limit increase. Now, Madam President, that was then Senator Joe Biden in March of 2006, right before every single Democratic senator voted against raising the debt limit and made a unified Republican government do it alone. Here's another quote. Today's fiscal mess is the inevitable outcome of policies that consistently ignored evidence and experience. My symbolic vote against raising the debt limit would have been a protest of the policies that have brought us to this point and a demand that we change course, end quote. Well, that same speaker, then Senator Biden, 2 years earlier, in 2004, as Senate Republicans have made clear since last July, and as I reminded the President in a letter just this morning, his sentiments then are our sentiments now. His sentiments then are our sentiments now.
So, as you can see, Joe Biden himself, back in 2006, said that because of the massive accumulation of debt that was predicted and unnecessary, he would be voting against the debt limit increase. McConnell is saying that Biden is a hypocrite to expect Republicans to be on board with raising the debt ceiling when the president himself did the same exact thing as a senator 15 years ago. So with McConnell saying he won't help Democrats raise the debt ceiling, it looks like Democrats will need to do it on their own through another reconciliation package. Even though there were doubts that moderate Democrats such as Joe Manchin would be on board with raising the debt ceiling through reconciliation, on Monday he said that he would vote in favor of it. In a statement, Manchin said, "They shouldn't rule out anything. We just can't let the debt ceiling lapse. We just can't." When Manchin was further pressed on whether or not he'd be willing to nix the filibuster as well, as he said for months now, he would not. The filibuster, of course, is a way Republicans or Democrats can keep a bill from passing in the Senate as long as they have at least 41 members in the chamber. With most bills, once they reach the Senate, they need to have at least 60 votes to pass, so if 41 or more Republicans or 41 or more Democrats vote against a particular bill that may be one-sided, it won't be able to get through. And this is why Democrats hope they can also get rid of the filibuster through reconciliation, which would then allow for them to get many more pieces of legislation through. Of course, if they did this, it would sort of be a double-edged sword because once or if Republicans take back majority in Congress, they would then be able to do the same exact thing. Meanwhile, while progressive Democrats are doing everything in their power to get moderate Democratic senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to raise their price tax on reconciliation, protesters begin attacking the two senators as well. On Sunday, a video surfaced showing protesters following Kyrsten Sinema into a bathroom at Arizona State University, where one activist was seen standing outside the stall she was in. Clearly, this is unacceptable behavior. In a statement, Sinema said, "It is unacceptable for activist organizations to instruct their members to jeopardize themselves by engaging in unlawful activities, such as gaining entry to closed university buildings, disrupting learning environments, and filming students in a restroom." And Sinema is exactly right. Even if you don't 100% believe in the position someone has politically, on their viewpoints or anything, doesn't mean you should harass them. I may not believe everything every Republican says or everything every Democrat says, but that doesn't mean I have the right to follow them around and make their lives miserable. That type of behavior, quite frankly, is pretty disturbing. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive a couple free stocks from Webull, make sure to quickly claim them by clicking my link in the description box below. To receive the first stock, you will need to fully open an account. Then to receive the second free stock, which will be valued up to $2,000, you'll need to make a qualifying deposit of at least $5. And even if you aren't all that interested in investing or continue to invest at this point in time, you can always sell the free stocks you receive and transfer that money, however much they're worth, right back to your bank account. So free stocks or free money is completely up to you. So once again, I hope everyone has a great and safe rest of their day, and I'll see you in the next video.